Hey guys, welcome back to another JC Tennis video. So, last night was day 2 of the Australian Open. Nick Kyrgios, in my opinion, was the main story. How would he fare in his Australian Open comeback? Well, he fell in straight sets to Great Britain's Jacob Fearnley, but I think there's more to the story than that. There's a lot of deeper subplots within that story. So Kyrgios, wasn't sure if he was going to play the Australian Open. Had some nagging injuries coming in, abdominal strain. You could tell right away on court he wasn't fully healthy, was not 100%. He said so after as well. He was definitely hindered, not serving all the way. So first set, stayed on serve, lost the tiebreaker. You just could tell throughout the match he wasn't the better player. He just wasn't. Big moments, both the first set tiebreaker and the third set tiebreaker, he just wasn't there. The third set was incredible theater, though, incredible drama. Down a break, gets it back on serve. The crowd's going crazy. We'll talk more about that, though. Kyrgios had some crazy quotes. Not crazy quotes, maybe some sad quotes after this match. You can see the headline here. Quote, "It's not enjoyable for me how Nick Kyrgios' Australian comeback turned into a farewell." So I'll try to find the quote here. He says, realistically, I can't see myself playing singles matches here again, which is pretty shocking because it's not like he just lost this first round match because he's not good. It was obvious hamperment by that injury. It's not like he's just washed. So, and he's 29 or 30. He's not very old. So I was surprised to see that quote saying he can't see himself playing singles here again. Obviously, he's still in the doubles draw this Australian Open with his good friend Thanasi Kokkinakis. I'm sure they have a chance to go pretty far if Kyrgios can find some health. But he goes on to say, I was knocking on the door from playing some of the biggest events, winning some of the biggest events. When you're competing for the biggest tournaments in the world and you're struggling to win sets, physically it's pretty tough. It's just not enjoyable for me. That's what he's saying. If that's true, that's pretty concerning, and it makes sense. If it's just not enjoyable, why he would not want to go on. But it sounds like he's talking about when he's struggling physically. If he can get healthy, maybe it won't be as not enjoyable. Maybe it will be enjoyable if he's healthy. So, yes, he did say, I can't really see myself playing singles here again, but I don't know how much I really buy into that. This article goes on to talk about how he say it would require a miracle for his body to hold up in Grand Slam competition. There was no miracle for Kyrgios. He was still significantly hampered by the injury. It was obvious from the start. Later in the opening set, he grimaced and shouted, I shouldn't effing be out here toward his box. That sounds like a pretty typical Kyrgios thing to say. The timing of the abdominal strain was not ideal. I knew I wasn't 100% going into this match. It sucks to be out of competitive tennis for 2 years, and when you come back, you're still struggling with an injury. He's always had little injuries issues, even when he was playing consistently. You'd see him pull out of tournaments with injury. It's kind of always been something, and it makes sense. You never think of Kyrgios as a guy that, it's hard to know this for sure, but I don't think many view him as the type that conditions very well or trains very hard and is really like all in 365 days of the year. That's never really been who he is. So it doesn't come as a huge surprise. He said, I'm happy to play through a bit of discomfort when it gets to a point of I'm one of the biggest servers on tour and I'm getting out-served tonight. Nick Kyrgios without his serve is probably not a threat to many players, he said. Yeah, the serve definitely wasn't, it's still a great serve, even though it wasn't at its best, but it wasn't the Nick Kyrgios just overwhelming power and precision serve that we're used to seeing. It was still great. He had a lot of aces. He had a lot of big serves and big spots in that third set, but it wasn't enough. You could tell in the tiebreakers in these slams are when you really get the feeling of who's the better player in these matches, because these courts are fast. You can weasel your way into tiebreakers pretty easily. And Fearnley in both tiebreakers was just better. It's as simple as that. And then I think this last little section had some Good quotes. Kyrgios said, "My journey is not over, but I've had an amazing journey. My career has been amazing. I don't have any regrets. Think everything has been a learning curve for me. I continue to try and have fun, just be real and enjoy the ride. But I think it would be selfish for me to say that I want more. I've had a lot of success, more than most athletes would have. All my focus now is just not taking anything for granted." So those quotes, man, it's making it sound like a farewell tour this year, which, I mean, I think Kyrgios just decides as he goes, honestly, what he wants to do. But I think some people are going to have a problem with him saying, "I've had a lot of success, more than most athletes would have." But he's right. He's totally right. He has had a lot of success. Obviously not in comparison to people like Novak, Roger, and Rafa. But that's not the standard. The standard is these guys that are ranked number 100. That's what most people are. They're ranked 113th and never break into the top whatever. Kyrgios was in the top 20 for a long time. He made a slam final. He beat all of the big three. He has had a great career, so I have no problem with Kyrgios saying that. But yeah, that's this whole article. I just wanted to go through that. Crazy night for tennis, crazy night for Kyrgios. He was the story, in my opinion, and it sucks that it kind of went how it did. It would have been fun to see him maybe just win a couple matches here in Australia. Obviously, it's theater when he plays in Australia and has the crowd going crazy. It was fun last night for a little bit, for sure. But yeah, that's all I have for this one, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.